Greetings everyone, welcome back to the House of Thunder and Lightning. I am the first half of the House of Thunder and Lightning. Thunder, yes, you guessed it, thunder indeed. How is everyone? Why am I doing this accent? This is a video celebrating my son's Earth Day. His Earth Day was on a weekday. His mom and I intended to split the Earth Day celebration into two. So on a weekday, we'd all go out together, myself, his mama, his uncle from his mama's side, and his grandma from his mama's side. So the intended idea was to go shopping to Westfield, get him some Lego stuff, one of his favorite toys is Lego, do some bowling, and then after working up an appetite from bowling and thrashing these people, I'm not competitive by the way, but I just know when I go bowling, I activate a different side of me. I repeat, I'm not competitive. Please believe me. I really am not. I just enjoy. Those are one of my favorite pastimes is bowling and frisbee. So on the Tuesday we went to the bowling alley. They were all booked up apparently. They said they were already booked up halfway through because of people who had called in and booked prior to that day. And because it rained that day, the dude at the counter was saying people from outside went into the bowling alley. So all the lanes are just booked up. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So you're saying people who came out from outside just booked up half of the other lanes that were available that weren't pre-booked before? The dude's like, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, okay, cool. So it was disappointing, and he had said the lanes would be free, I think, around 8:30. And bearing in mind, we had showed up to the bowling alley around, I think, 4:30, maybe 5. So that was highly disappointing because I really wanted to bowl that day. I know my son wanted to as well. Went shopping instead, and we then planned that, okay, since we couldn't do bowling that day, we'll do it on the weekend instead. And I prefer the reception I got at Finsbury Park Bowling than Westfield. Westfield was just too stuck up. There was no wiggle room, and I couldn't understand how the whole day was just booked up until 8:30. It just didn't make sense. So maybe they had like pro bowlers who just, happened to just come in from outside. But anyway, I'm gonna rant about that. That boiled my blood that day for sure, because I really wanted the whole squad to bowl that day. So we went shopping instead. Went walkabouts for a while. The intention was Wagamama's, actually. That was the plan. I was thinking Nando's, but we were all talking about Wagamama's. It is a restaurant called Chopsticks that he likes a lot. They do vegan stuff and meat stuff as well, but obviously he has the vegan stuff. So as you can see here, that's my boy with the Lego shopping bag. Pleased and happy. He took his time in that store as well. There's a section where you can build your own Lego character or characters. He took his time building that up, and which is cool. One thing I didn't like about it for sure was the lack of there was no brown. Basically, there were no brown Lego characters at all. So at the desk, I was telling the dude like, yo, every child of every creed, every background, every nationality, every skin pigmentation, they come into your store and buy these toys up. So I just told the dude, yo, be wise, especially when you got your build your own Lego section. It's one thing if you're buying Captain America, if you're buying She-Hulk or Hulk, and they're fixed, characters, even characters from comics or cartoons, TV shows. But when you're building your own character, that's the one place you should have any and everything for everyone who's from a different background. If whoever wants to build a yellow Lego character, yeah, knock yourself out. But when you have options, you can put some locks as well. You can put afros. Children will sit down and take time. You got costumes as well, different backgrounds, different tradition. Yeah, people will sit down and take their time. Even adults will go in there and take their time with their children because, it's appreciation. So it's like creating your own gaming character in a fighting game. Or if you're playing a story-based game and you can create your own character. Obviously, you can create any pigmentation you want. If it's a blue skin alien or creature. But when you have the option of creating your own character, you're always going to, well, I feel most of the time you create something that resembles you first, then you branch out. And even if you don't, and some people don't really care about that, but I feel it's important that at least you have the option. Give the children the option, and if they choose to, cool. If not, cool. But at least you presented the option. But that's my rant about the Lego section done. Here's the Infinity War gauntlets, and they're looking magnificent. Those definitely caught my eye. Definitely caught my eye, amongst other things as well in the store. And some things are pricey.
He got money, get it all for him.
They had a kinetic pyramid there as well, Eiffel Tower. They had a really close to photorealistic Lego model of a motorcycle. I can't remember the brand, but it was wow. They even had an F1 racing car as well. Beautiful. But yeah, like I said, even though we didn't bowl, the shopping was nice. The conversations with myself and Maxine's mom was beautiful, as usual. I mean, we all had lovely conversations. Doesn't mean that I didn't have good conversations with Max. Just saying, every time Maxine's mom shows up, yeah, we're always having some deep conversations, and we never tire of each other, which is beautiful. We can have healthy conversations that improve one's psyche or add a different vantage point or perspective or add to what you already currently know. It's always a blessing to have that. So then after that Tuesday, fast forward to the Saturday now, Max and I were looking for different places to go and bowl at. And I remember Finsbury Park bowling. So I called them up like, yo guys, first of all, can I find out if anything's been pre-booked in advance? Let's say I want to come down on Sunday. And can you let me know the lanes that are being booked? And they're like, yeah, Saturday seems cool, Sunday is cool, but you can just show up anyway. I was like, yeah, but because it's Saturday, it might be fully booked and occupied. So we got there, ready to book a lane. The place was vibing. It wasn't full up. It didn't look like it was packed out. But there was a dude at the counter who was like, oh, you're all booked out, bro, dude. Can't let you in, man. Lanes are booked. I'm like, what? So I spoke to Max, and Max was, I think prior to me showing up, she had spoken to him or someone else there anyway. And they were saying that there's enough room for us to bowl. And I can't remember roughly how long it takes for, especially if you have a good number of people to bowl. I don't think it's at least 20 minutes. Nah, I feel it's more than 20 minutes because we were there for a little while, taking our time, we were talking, having fun. But then whilst the guy was giving us this whack talk about his book, and man, there's no free space, maybe tomorrow. Some lady just showed up on his left. I think she was probably a managerial post or something. She slid across with a chair like, I beg, give me space, did a ticky-tacky thing on the keyboard, and lady just booked us in lane 13. Very powerful number for those who know their numbers. She didn't even tell us like, oh, you gotta bowl real quick because your lane is booked. Nothing like that. Yeah, so like, okay, cool, lane 13, that's all the way to the left, upstairs. But that lane itself was a tough lane. That lane 13 was a tough lane. But now that's enough talk.
Let the bowling narration begin.
As you can see here, here's the bowling balls preparing themselves for usage to get some strikes. There's Auntie Shell, my little warrior, and there's his mama over there. And since because I was a designated photographer and cameraman, you rarely see me in this video, man. Rarely. You hear me though, but you won't see me. Next time I'll pre-plan that stuff and say, take picture. Here's a scoreboard. I recorded this pretty late in the game as well, but you can tell who's thrashing, who's winning. But Max and I, boy, we were like neck and neck. In fact, I wasn't even worried about Shell because I didn't know how good Shell was. We had to get the bars up for Ramses. Yeah, that was a good ball. And here's Auntie Shell throwing the gutter. Going straight for the gutter, man.
Damn, son.
And they're out here talking about strategies and whatnot while I'm looking at them thinking, you're not as good as I thought you were. I don't know why Ramses is rolling his arm like he was doing hardcore labor. I mean, them balls are heavy, but we found lighter ones and comfortable ones for him as well. And here's Mama with the correct bowl. My bad, I was kidding. Correct bowl, my backside.
Round 2. Finish him.
Yo, that was a good bowl. As you can hear, that was a good bowl. If we're ever to do the versus thing, Max would definitely be a top player to have to go versus against. Like if we had like 5 versus 5 and she wasn't on my team, yeah, she'd be the main one to look out for. I think that was too heavy. Did he find the lighter one? Because we were discussing lighter balls and they didn't even have a rack full of different size balls and shapes. I mean, shapes, colors and whatnot. Look at his spinning legs like mine. He wanted a strike for sure too. That's a nice one. Yeah, it's a nice shot because we had given him he had bowled the first time without the bars up, and they were just kissing gutter straight away. We're like, you know what, we need the bars up for now, just to give him that little boost. Ready, dude? His legs are bending like Neo from the Matrix.
Hadouken!
Yeah, that was close.
Is that your best?
I was trying to get him to get used to using the bars to assist him, like a ping pong thing. Yeah, so like a rebound. Like when you're playing snooker or pool. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. That was everyone's hype, man. And sometimes I was like, yeah, boo, you got the gutter, man. That was whack. But it was a fun day, man. Definitely going to do it again. Especially now that winter's coming up. Yeah. It's the stuff to do when you're indoors and when it's all cold outside. Even though it's summer, like I said, two of my favorite things: frisbee and bowling. Outdoors is frisbee, just being in the park and just tune up nature. I'm trying to do some super interesting camera shots as well. Slow creep zoom.
Perfect.
Nice, nice, nice. That was dope. And here he was getting excited as well. He's like, "Gutter Max, blood clot." Did you hear my? Max out here looking thicker than a Kit Kat. Wait, no, thicker than a Snickers bar. Why did I say thicker than the Kit Kat? Yeah, she got some powerful strikes for sure. I mean, powerful bowls, definitely. Most of the time they go straight. Most of the time they go straight. But here, as you can see, I couldn't even pause that screen in time. Have to do a snapshot of it later. But spoilers, I won the first round in the first lane. Ooh, that was nice. You just see him tilting to the right a bit. There you go, 84. Highest score there. 20 points ahead of Peeps, man. Auntie Shell struggling right below. Nice. That was good. I think he found a lighter one. I like the way his legs are just bending like mine. Look at that. Like when Michael Jackson started out. I think he should have hit that. Yeah, he should have rolled that from the left side of the bar so it pings or rebounds into the right side or it goes straight. Auntie Shell kissing Gutter again. That was cold. She did that a lot. So Auntie Shell is not that good at frisbee, not that good at bowling. At tennis though, she'd be bragging about tennis. So I'm like, no, we didn't come here for tennis. We came here for bowling. But yeah, that is the final score screen. Yeah, but I got the highest number, 102. I need to zoom into that one so y'all can see it properly. There was no strike on this lane though. We had two lanes. We played twice that day. There was no strike on this lane. Lane 13 was tough. So then they had moved us to lane 17. That's after I'd gone downstairs to try and get a second game of that lane. And dude was like, nah, people pre-booked lane 13. So when we switched over to lane 17 now, and things got different. Because lane 13 was tight, tough. Them pins were like metal. Like none of them were going straight down for a strike. So, but we found out that we were getting more points a little quicker in lane 17 than we did in lane 13. Lane 13 was a good struggle, good fight, don't get me wrong.
Final.
Like we put our best foot forward, our best bowl forward. Nice. There's the excited father in the background. And Auntie Shell. Complete, nice one. That part was so close. Max was almost close to getting the strike. Just, you know, FYI, I was the first one to get a strike on this lane before everybody else followed. So I got one, then Max followed, and my son followed, literally like consecutively. So when it came to each of our turns, I was the first one to get a strike on lane 17. When it came to Maxine's turn, she got a strike as well. When it came to my son, he was excited, got a strike instantly. So, you know. I went to Shell asking for tagging when I said I was going to put it on Instagram.
Show diversity on the channel.
Yeah. But if it's about a specific, your channel's about a specific thing, then that's fine, innit, bro?
And yeah, this is one of the only videos you see of me bowling. I think the other videos was when I was playing the space shuttle table stuff. Look at the run up. Did you guys see the run up? Let me take it back and do the run up because I was ready for a strike on that one. Look at the little I moved like Flintstone for a second there.
Epic fail.
And this is me talking to Max saying, yeah, and you should point to double up because she was hitting almost every pin, even though she didn't get a strike in the first bowl. She was hitting at least 99.9% of the pins, and it always had one standing. So I was bowling whack like the first 4 bowls in lane 17. Like lane 13, straight up hitting pins. But Max for sure, she always hits a target most of the times. So she bowls mainly with intention for a strike or to knock most, if not all, the pins down, obviously. And yeah, because I didn't record enough of the videos, every bowl would have at least 1 or 2 pins left standing. So here in lane 17, I was like, yep, for sure, she's definitely gonna either match me or surpass me. And I was already accepting, like, okay, cool, because first lane 13 was like a tester to get our skills back up, since it's been a while, even pre-pandemic and then during pandemic. It's been a while since we bowled. Obviously, this is the first time since that time. So lane 13 was like a little warm up, and then lane 17, I was like, yeah, now we know what balls to use, our techniques and whatnot. Max was just knocking them out of the park, bam, bam, bam. I was like, yo, she might get this round, man, because lane 13 was round 1. Even though it was a warm up, it's still round 1, and you're not gonna disregard the scores. And since I was the designated entity to usher in the strike, as soon as I got the strike, I think I got like 2 or 3 strikes, to be honest. Yeah, either 2 or 3 strikes. I had to find the score sheet. I got 2 or 3 strikes, but I know I was the first one to get the strike. Max followed, like I said earlier on. Shell didn't get nada. There was no strike on Shell's side at all. I know Shell's strength is definitely in tennis, but like I said, we didn't come here to play tennis. I don't want to hear this back tennis talk. We came here to bowl and just to see who had the power to match their mouth and who didn't. I like to crap talk before bowling, of course, just to psych people up and just to see where people are at, Some people just say it's for fun. For me, it is for fun. But I'm also here to get them bowl strikes, man. Here to get them pin strikes. But yeah, it was definitely a fun day. We had a dude to the left side who had short man syndrome. I think he was partially drunk because he was cussing a lot, like dropping F-bombs, even though my son was there. I mean, fair enough, it's there are a lot of adults playing as well, so it's like you would argue, why do you have children there? My son wasn't the only child there, by the way, but the dude had no chill on his tongue, dropping a lot of F-bombs, didn't even bowl correctly. I'm like, why are you screaming F this and F that when you're not even rolling the ball well? I know he was drunk, but still, it was just annoying. It wasn't like subtle F-bombs. They were loud. But there you have it. That's part 1 of the return of the bowling. With myself, my son, his mama, and our good friend, Shellrock. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this special edition. It's been a while since I've uploaded on this channel. I do apologize. You have been watching the House of Thunder and Lightning. And I have been your host. I almost said guest. I have been your host, and thank you for being my guest today. Hopefully you watched to the end, or straight to the end, and no one skipped anything. You better not have skipped my video, or I'll come for you. I will find you, and I will erase you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Good night. Peace.
Nice one. Oh, okay. You came to bowl. Nice one.